the game down. The Broncos are third in rushing yards per game, and they're top 8 in rushing attempts. I know Case Keenum can't make the long throw, and this is why the Broncos games, they go pretty quickly. The clock gets run out pretty quick, but Denver has a pretty good defense, top 10 in sacks, top 13 in yards per play. Denver also doesn't score too quickly, and they're one of the worst in yards per point at 18.8. I think they run the ball here and slow down this amazing Kansas City's prolific offense. Under 56 points is where I'm going. And that's because I don't think Denver's going to score much more than 13 to 17 points here.
Good. I like that play as well. I looked at it. I love that play. I think this Denver team, look, they played the Seahawks. They gave up 24 points. They barely beat the Raiders, right? They're 0-3. The first team that they played that was good, they got their pants pulled down. Mm-hmm. So I like that play. I love that play.
Yeah, they could get jumped and be one-dimensional too, being down like 17-3, and then they're just throwing the ball, and the Chiefs are ready for it, and the Chiefs run out the clock in the fourth quarter. That's kind of what could very much happen right here.
Yeah, it could be easily a 34-10 game, right? And you're hitting that under.
Absolutely.
All day long. So.
Well, I'll go right into the next one then. We have the Eagles versus the Titans. The Eagles are laying 4 points, and the over-under is at 41.5. Now, when it comes to defense, both of these teams have been very good this year. When it comes to pace of play, Tennessee is one of the slowest. The Eagles have the 5th best red zone defense, allowing only a 33% success rate for touchdowns, while Tennessee is number 1 at 16.6% allowing touchdowns. So let's face it, the Eagles are banged up. Ajay's hurting. He hasn't been playing. There's no Torrey Smith from last year. Mike Wallace is out for the year, and Alshon Jeffrey's not back yet. So who does that leave to throw to? Well, 2 guys, Nelson Aguilar and Zach Ertz. Now you have a rusty Carson Wentz coming in without any of his targets from last year. And when I say rusty, he's very rusty. He's been out a while. On the other side of the coin, Marcus Mariota has been banged up, right? And same with their backup, Blaine Gabbert. As a matter of fact, Mariota had to come into last game because Blaine Gabbert got a concussion. So he's highly questionable. The Titans also lost their top pass catcher earlier in the year in Delaney Walker. Both offenses together are only putting up 16 and 19.8 points per game for a total of 36. And the 2 defenses are allowing 17 and 18 points. So that's a total of 35. And they still have to play each other, which is, worse offenses. So I'm loving the under in this game as well. This 41.5 does not scare me. I am taking the Eagles versus Titans under 41.5.
I love it. I look at that game and I'm like, it scared me away. I didn't even want to look at the over-under because it scared me so much. What are we going to get? What Titans team are we going to get? What quarterback are we going to get with Wentz? Boy, it scared me that I didn't even look and consider the over and under, right? And I think that's absolutely genius on your end that you looked at it and you said, I'm taking the under. I'm not going to worry about anything else. I love that pick. I absolutely love it, and I'm kicking myself for not bringing that up beforehand with my picks. I'm going to take that as well. I love it.
Oh, nice. And, and people could tease that thing up to 47.5 as well if they feel really bad about it. Hell, tease that over. Tease the Kansas City also to 50 to 62 points and tease the other one to 47.5. You're gold. You're gold right there. So I'm going to be focused a little bit more on teasers to some of our premium subscribers as well, my friends. So I'm going to dig myself out of this hole, and hopefully you kick some ass this weekend. Do you have any more games or?
Hey, listen, here's my last one, right? I got the Seahawks going up against the Cardinals, and I think everybody knows here that I'm a huge Bears fan. It's very rare that I will root against the Bears when it comes against playing a game, right, and gambling, right. So I'm not touching the Bears this week, but I'm going to touch the two guys that played the Bears back-to-back weeks. Okay, I watch both of these teams. I watch the Seahawks against the Bears. I watch the Cardinals against the Bears. Last week I lost the game with the Cardinals, but I think the Bears came out flat last week, right? And the first two times that the Cardinals had the ball, they scored. They put up 14 quick points. After that, they were a disaster, right? They brought in a rookie quarterback with, what was it, 4 minutes left, 3 minutes left?
Yeah, something like that.
It was the worst coaching job I've ever seen in my life. If you're not moving the ball in the first half after those first two scores, maybe after the third quarter, then you bring your rookie quarterback in. You don't bring him in with less than 4 minutes left, right? So that kind of threw me off. And I look at this Cardinals team and I'm like, man, even though they scored 14 against the Bears last week and they covered, we get it. I know I didn't win it, but here's the deal. They're still one of the three worst teams in the league, right? It was a head scratcher last week. I have no idea why the coach did that. It boggled my mind, right? I look at these two teams. Look, the Seahawks are getting 3 points. They're getting 3 points going into Arizona. And I know Arizona could be a great place for a home team when they're really good. But is this team really good? No. It's almost to the point where they're bad and people are selling their tickets. So it's almost not going to even be a home game for them again next week, right? So, can the Seahawks score Russell Wilson? I say I have more confidence than I do with Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll than I do with Wilkes and Sam and Rosen. Okay, so I have more confidence in the Seahawks winning this game. Okay, getting that 3 points, and heck, even if they lost by a point or two, you're still a winner. I don't trust this Cardinals team. I didn't see enough in Rosen in that final 5 minutes, and I have more confidence in Russell Wilson scoring some points and pulling it out at the end. Give me the 3 points, and I'm going to take the Hawks this weekend.
Yeah, when you look at these two teams that have the major problems, right? I like what you're doing there. Neither offensive line is great, but when that's the case, you go with the quarterback. Russell Wilson's like a top 5 quarterback in this league. Look what he's accomplished. Look how accurate he is. And then you have Josh Rosen that doesn't even know the playbook yet. He's not sure what he's going to do. And so their defense isn't really impressing me that much. It's the Cardinals defense. They got blown out by the Rams. They got beat by Washington pretty bad.
Right.
Yeah, man. I like what you're doing there. When you can take points with one of the top 5 quarterbacks, it's probably never a bad play, man. Might have to be on that with you. Well, that's awesome, Danny. Loved the analysis right there. Definitely made me think about a few other ones. And I'm sure you're going to get us a write-up as well. So if you are a subscriber to our Free Picks newsletter, you'll get that emailed to you as soon as Danny puts that on our website. Really appreciate it, my man. Any words of advice this weekend?
No. Hey, listen, I like the Saints as well, right? But I'll think about that a little more in the week. I know we're coming out really early this week, but I love the Saints this week coming up here against the Giants. Other than that, guys, give us a 5-star review. It helps us out with iTunes and some of the other places you get your podcast. Give us a 5-star. Shoot us an email. Shoot us a tweet and say, hey, we'd love you guys to talk about this, and this. But give us a 5-star review. That would be awesome. It would be really helpful so we can get a little bit higher up with iTunes.
You can tweet him at CubFanDanny, and he'll be back with a little UFC next week because we have a pretty big event coming up with that. We cannot wait to get into another McGregor fight.
I can't wait to get some punching.
All right.
It's going to be fun.
Everyone, enjoy the weekend and go get some winners.